Hey, what's going on, everybody? I was hoping this video would be my I found the Mad Balls video, but after searching and searching all week for Mad Balls, I've had no luck. I've been to every Walmart in my area, and no trace of them. I don't even see like where the display would be or anything. That's also the thing. I don't really know where they'll be. I've seen some people's videos on Instagram. They found them like in the seasonal section, so it'd be like the Valentine's section right now. But yeah, no trace of them there and nothing in the toy aisles. So I'll keep looking. Hopefully, I'll find those things. I'm hearing not good things about them, but I have to find them. I have to get them. So hopefully soon I'll have good news and can show off some Mad Balls. But in the meantime, I've been looking around my room, looking around the collection, and it's definitely time for a cleaning. Every once in a while, I have to take everything down and do a dusting. I don't have like display cases and things like that to keep the dust out, so I have to go through and do a dusting. So I was looking around, and aside from dusting, I just like to do a rearranging. I want to kind of take my collection, move some things. It's time for some things to come down and some new things to go up. I definitely need to find a home for the party wagon, because right now it's in the closet. I'll show you where it's parked in a little bit, but it deserves better. It needs to be on display for a while. But I was thinking, if I'm going to do all that, let me show you the room. Let me do a room tour. So you're going to see a dusty room. There's a lot of dust in here still. I mean, it's not like terrible, but I mean, you'll see some dust on some figures that are up on the shelves. But I'm going to give a room tour, show you what I've got and kind of, what I'm into and how it's displayed. And that way it's set up for the next time when I have an update video on how things look for 2025. But let's jump into it. Let's take a look and let me show you what I got. So we'll start over here. This is my workstation. So I mentioned in my previous videos, I'm a poster designer, graphic designer. So I do a lot of work from home. So this is my office / collector's room. So it's a little bit of a catch-all. This is like this is where I hang out. I watch movies, I play games in here. I do my work, and I have my collection. This is my work area. This is where I do my poster work. You can find me on Fiverr if you need some posters done. I have some artwork here. We have Turbo Pork with the Dread mashup here. We have Moxie. I apologize, I forget the name of the artist on this one, but Muckman. It's a really awesome piece. Currently, my Super 7 collection is kind of mixed in over here. We have the turtles, the glow-in-the-dark variants. I'm a big fan of the Super 7 turtles, and especially the Crusaders. Definitely hoping they keep the Toxic Crusaders line going, because I want to get some villains. They make me nervous sometimes. I know some of their lines don't always continue, so hopefully there's enough support to keep that one going. I like Slash a lot, so I have different Slashes. I have a NECA. I don't have a lot of NECA figures, but it's one of the few. I think it's the Archie style Slash, and that's the Loyal Subjects who do a turtle line. That's, I think, their version. One of my favorite pieces here is the Paluto. He was an unproduced figure that was recently made. My Radiation Ranger Army. Toxic Crusaders. That is a custom piece done by Veronica Creations. You can find her on Instagram. She does a lot of really cool art and sculptures. I had that custom made. I have the Mad Ball head poppers. Speaking of Mad Balls, here are my Mad Balls. I don't have I have, I think, one. I don't have That's one of the vintage ones. It's got a nose rub. I need to get some vintage ones. I have the newer ones, like the Kid Robot, and then like the newer ones that come out in the past few years. These are Bull Air. Bull Air, who do a lot of shoe customs and stuff. They also have made these. Some more Toxie. The Pollution Copter. I have them propped up on a Mutant Mayhem popcorn can. Some Transformers hiding down here. Don't mind the wires. You don't see all this with the computer screen, so kind of hides the mess. Got the transforming DeLorean. And then when you go up, we have Killer Bee. All right, up here we have my Transformers. This is the Optimus collection, some Megatron, Galvatron. I've really narrowed down a lot of my Transformers over the past few years. I got rid of a lot. I like Transformers, but I was like, I don't need to have like every character. So I just get my favorite ones and some odds and ends. We go over here into my He-Man, which is a mix of Origins and Masterverse and some Mattel classics. I had vintage ones. I got rid of most of them. Like I'll see Wildor is a vintage one. The Origins really replaced that vintage for me. There's Blade, he's vintage. I'm hoping to make a Blade in the Origin style and a Masterverse. I do have the Mattel Creations Blade. I have Sunman up there. The story behind Sunman, if you aren't familiar, is really cool. I'm glad he appears in the Origin line now. A few new adventures of He-Man. They're gonna add more, and I don't have a nostalgia for them because I didn't grow up with them. I do like some of the designs, but I just have the eyeball guy. I wouldn't mind getting like maybe one of the Skeletors or the asteroid that looks like a skull. We have some of those Funkos that look like He-Man, but done in the Thundercats. I think they are being re-released now by Super 7. They're neat, but they have I don't know if the new ones do, but the older ones had some pretty bad quality control issues. If you were gonna do a lot with them, they like to have limbs that fall off, but they do alright on the shelves. So the new figures here, I love these dinosaur guys. Silverhawks. Dick Tracy, which is a fun line and a not expensive line to collect. Super Mario Brothers, Swamp Thing. Yeah, Pee Wee Herman. I'm a big Pee Wee Herman fan. RoboCop. This line here is one of my favorite lines. It's Monster, which was kind of like a knockoff bootleg line. Then in the kind of the style Playmates, I so believe they were trying to kind of emulate. We have Monster Force. We have Tales from the Crypt Keeper. There's the Crypt Keeper there. We have some smaller 3 3/4 size or 4-inch. What's the name? Boss Fight Studios, mixed in with some Army of Darkness, some Super 7 Reaction in Army of Darkness. Pardon the squeaky floor. Try not to move around as much. And we have my Star Wars. I used to have a lot of Star Wars stuff, but and we have Star Wars, my Star Wars collection. I used to have a lot of Star Wars stuff, and I still have a pretty good amount just in storage. This is the stuff I want to put on display. I like the Troopers a lot. Some video game figures, the Ralph McQuarrie concept figures. Get a focus there. I like the concept of Star Wars, I think, better than of Star Wars. I like the idea of like what could have been, some of the ideas. We have G.I. Joe. This the idea of this was like a dream come true, having Transformers mixed with G.I. Joe. He's an awesome his tank, that's Megatron, but the robot isn't great. I mean, on display he looks okay, but if you look at him from behind, he's kind of a big mess. But the other ones they've done have looked a lot better. Like they have the All Striker, and they have the Thunder Machine, Sergeant Slaughter's tank. Those look great. But I really wanted to, I like the idea of his tank being Megatron. But Pirates of Dark Water, I have an update, a pretty cool update coming to them. I'm going to be changing their display with some additions that are coming in here soon. These are displays here, have some Mad Balls on top. And Kubrick figures. They're from Japan. They kind of look like Lego, but they're a little bit bigger. You can pop them apart and switch things around on some of them. Some of them they're permanent, but they're like block style figures. And I got into them when I was in college. I'd got the Blair Witch set when the Blair Witch movie came out. You see them back there, and I thought they were really awesome. I like Lego a lot. I mean, it's kind of fit, and they have. I mean, they like pose a little bit better. But there's a lot of different lines they have. Superheroes. They have Marvel. I just sold a bunch of my Marvel ones, but I have a pretty big Star Wars collection. I'll show you in a little bit. We have the Mega Block Masters of the Universe figures. Some Mad Balls up top there. These are car displays, these plastic cases. It's got turned vertical instead of horizontal, so you can fit figures in there. They do come with covers too, but they were like always popping open, and I just decided to take them all off because it was easier to get to the figures. But it gets dusty. This is one of the things I was talking about, the dust. I have to take them all out and do a dusting and a vacuuming. Some Battle Beast. I would like to get some more Battle Beast this year. And we have some mini mates are mixed in here. Those aren't mini mates. Those are Mega Block still. Where's the mini mates? Mini mates. Here's some mini mates. Alien. These alien figures were a lot of fun. They came in a little alien egg with slime, and it's kind of a mystery figure. Let's see. Trying to go in order of how the room is. I've kind of jumped around a little bit, but that's all right. I'll give you a big picture here in a little bit. Down, we have some turtles down here. Yeah, this definitely needs a rearrangement. I've got a few wrestlers kind of hiding out on the lair. There's a new layer coming out too, which is exciting. Playmates is reissuing the layer. I hope it's scaled down just a bit. Not because I want it smaller, but just because I want it to fit with the Technodrome, because they can connect. I'd still like to have that option in there. So maybe they keep the scale and just make that tunnel, that tube smaller to fit. I don't know how they'll do it, but I'm excited they're coming out with a new one. So we'll see what they do. I definitely need to find a home for these, for my ships here. Superpowers. At the top here, some of my cereal and mascot characters, My Pet Monster, hiding out. This was gonna be like all Dino Turtles, and I've got a few the Medieval Knights up there, so still kind of working on what that will be. We get into some more Star Wars over here. This is starts off with Jango. We have Jango over here, but then he bleeds into Mandalorian and Boba Fett. I'll jump into that. Let me keep going down this here. We have Star Wars, Mask, Beetlejuice. Well, it's not just, it's like a NECA makes these little Halloween kids, and we got the Creeper back there from Creepshow. These are some 3D printed, kind of like Madball style foot soldiers. Narc from Not Another Retro Channel sells those on his Whatnot sometimes. We have Secret Galaxy Dan Larson's figure there. Picked it up at a convention at Joe Fest here in Augusta, Georgia. Some more Transformers. There's a lot of bleed over. There's not like one area that's just one thing. There's a lot of, some Star Wars here, some like Ninja Turtles there. I try to keep somewhat of a theme, but I'm okay with a little bit of bleed over. We have Mandalorian. So I'm a huge Boba Fett fan. So this is my little Boba Fett area. Different figures, memorabilia. We have the big giant Boba Fett down here. So that's this corner over here. Kind of skipped over a little bit, walk you back over. So over here is more Kubricks. These are the Star Wars. And like this top, like these guys are knockoffs here. But it was a fun line to collect. I don't know if they're making any more. I haven't seen any, but I haven't really been actively looking. Feels like they did a pretty good coverage of the original trilogy and the prequels. So I don't know if we'll get the new trilogy in there. Some of my standout turtles. I like the monster turtles a lot. I mentioned in like my goals video, there's figures I'll pick up because I think they're neat. Like these are re-releases of the original. They're kind of like poppers. Like they pop open, they turn into the Samurai Warriors Ninja Turtles. I got excited. I saw them in the store, and you have that moment of like, wow, yeah, I've been seeing these since you're a kid, and you want to pick them up. I don't dislike them, but they don't really. They're gonna probably not be on display here soon. We put away. They don't really. I don't know. They don't bring me that joy when I look at them. But there's one of those type of things that maybe I won't grab when I see them in the store just because they're neat. Going Further down here, more of the turtles. Most of these are vintage. There might be a couple of the reissues I've snuck in there. Like, I think I took my vintage token Razor off display and I put in the reissues. Like the storage shell turtles, I definitely have the reissues out because they have all their weapons. If they're things like I'm missing accessories for, I'll pop out the newer ones. Like I have a new Rat King. He should be like in a month or so. I think he's coming from Big Bad. So that was that corner. Here we have a TV. I still have a Xbox One, which I thought was pretty up to date, but I'm told that's not the case. I don't play. I used to play a lot of games, but I've been trying to cut back because I get kind of addicted, and I just don't want to do anything else but play games. I got too much work I gotta do. Here's a mix of figures: Captain Planet, Zen, even a Highlander, the animated series figure. I'd like to find more of these guys. They're not super like rare or expensive, because who's heard of the animated series cartoon, let alone toys for them? But I did watch the cartoon, and I like Highlander a lot. Some Visionaries, Jason the Wheeled Warriors, some Supernaturals, which these have moved around quite a bit this past, or in 2024. Right now they're down here. I don't think I like that because you don't get to really appreciate them down here. They're kind of hidden. So they might be finding a new home here soon. Beetlejuice is another one. I don't have some new pieces coming in, so I might need to find a new way to display them. So this is something I think is going to change this year, pretty soon. Right now it's all He-Man, mostly Origins with some Turtles of Grayskull mixed in there. But I think it's time for Snake Mountain to be retired from the display. This might be where the Super 7 Party Wagon goes. And I think a lot of my He-Man figures will be either getting moved or maybe not on display for this next year for a little while. I like Many-Faces a lot. We have Many-Face, and we have oh my goodness, was Cosmic Legions. They're kind of homage to him, Many-Faces. He comes with multiple heads that kind of represent each of the faces. But yeah, I think Snake Mountain will be coming down, which is not bad because I'll use that for photos more often if it's not being used for display. If you look on my Instagram, you'll see Castle Grayskull makes a lot of photo backgrounds for different figures. So Snake Mountain's got a lot of potential. I mean, for things for backgrounds, and the inside's really cool with a lot of cool things. You can set figures up in there, so that'll be good. Get that down. I can use it for more photography. Some RoboCop poster art. I like Lego, and I definitely like Lego minifigures. We have Batmans and Superman. This is the DC section over here. Some of these are legit Lego, and some of them are like the ones you can buy from AliExpress. I'd say a majority are real, but there's a few that I didn't want to spend the big dollars for. I was happy with a knockoff version. Marvel, we're in the Marvel now. And sometimes there's some knockoff versions I like the printing better. Like I'll get the Lego version, but also I'll get, I don't know if I showed off the X-Men Marvel guys. I'll get the original and I'll get the bootleg version just because it has cool printing. Kind of hidden down there behind the lamp. Oh, if you can see back there, Submariner. And then we have some just the Lego people. I think these are like the those blind packs from different series. Abe Lincoln there is one of my favorites. Oh yeah, Voltron's definitely a not official Lego. The He-Man, not an official Lego. Thundercats. That's my attempt at making Connor McLeod from Highlander out of Lego. Yeah, when I change this display, that lamp's definitely going to come down so it's not blocking everything. Mando Army. I mentioned some of them are bootleg. Some of these are they're not official Lego, but they are printed, like they're made on actual Lego figures, but they're printed from other companies. Minifigure Me, I think, is one of them. There's a few places online you can get some, like they're legit Lego parts, but with new printing on them. And a lot of these are that as well. Like the Lost Boys are legit Lego, but custom printing. Those are pretty cool. Ki Mundi is fallen. Star Wars, we got the Star Wars guys over here. All the pilots. Stormtroopers. Star Killer. That's another one that's made from legit Lego parts, but custom printing. And we have some Creo, G.I. Joe. This was a neat line. This actually kind of satisfied a lot of after I'd sold my G.I. Joes, I never really wanted to go back and get the vintage ones, but when I found these, I got a really good deal. I got like a whole collection. This satisfied any sort of itch I had for having a representation of my vintage figures because it has pretty good assembly of all the characters from the vintage line. A good lineup. There's a few Transformers kind of hiding out down here. And then there's a few not official Lego versions of the characters. Stranger Things. But that is this corner over here. Watching some Eternia Dreams on YouTube here. Every Sunday, you can check out Eternia Dreams on YouTube. He has a new episode. It's my giant bean bag with some Toxic Avenger blanket, Tarman, Toxic Avenger pillow, cereal, the Monster cereals. I think a lot of these companies that I bought this from no longer are in business, or I think some of them still are. Got an Alf down here. I don't think I showed off Alf. That is one of the few toys I have that I kept from my childhood. He was stored away. and like one of those like little bags that kind of suck all the air out. And I had a few of my stuffed animals, so he survived the purge of toys. So the Alf. Alf is one that my grandma bought for me. She there's a character that was funny because I don't know if she realized he was a puppet. I mean, I'm sure she did, but maybe she played along with me so I'd think he was real. But she got me the Alf figure. Little Critters pillow. Then back here, we have a little nook here where I keep some posters. I have Demon Knight, had that signed by what is his name? It's signed by a couple. It's signed by one of the demons, and it's the granddad in the movie. Not really a granddad. He was like the drunk, like drunk uncle. He was also in Gremlins as the neighbor. His name's escaping me, but he did sign it. This is signed by Nick Castle. He was the director, and he was also the person who was inside Michael Myers' costume in their first Halloween. Near Dark, signed by several of the cast members. There's Lance. It's a Trimmer's shirt that I have framed. I'll show these other posters before we get into the toys. Flash Gordon, signed by Flash Gordon himself. Critters. These are pieces done by Travis Knight. You can find him on Instagram and Facebook. He does really cool pieces that are like, if you put on 3D glasses, if you look at the blue, you'll see Stormtrooper. If you put on the red, you'll see the skeleton under there. But he has lots of different pieces that are kind of like that. He's really cool. Check him out. Another Critters poster. Raiders of the Lost Ark. And these are things I changed these out throughout the year. Just kind of whatever strikes my mood for movie posters. This was it's a t-shirt I framed, but it's one of the haunted houses they had at Universal one year. It was actually a house that had several different themes. It was all kind of like B movies. And this was a Midnight Snack 2, which was kind of like a Critters Gremlins room. And I'm a huge Critters fan, so I thought it was really cool. Like all the little monsters in there look like critters, like they were their version of a critter. And they didn't have like regular t-shirts proper. They had a thing that would print out t-shirts based on the ones you liked, and I was definitely wanted to get that one, so ended up going into a frame because I didn't want to wear it out. So that was a really fun event. Over here we have Skeleton Warriors. Try not to blast you out with the light. Just recently picked up the bike here. And we have Street Sharks, leaving some open space for additional figures to fit in. So one thing I have a challenge with is I want to fill everything out, and it's like, well, I need space for the new things that I pick up. Some Street Sharks, and we have the Cowboys and Moo Mesa. I'm excited for the new update coming out from this cell. So we have Inhumanoids, and I'm gonna say his name wrong. You can correct me down below. It's like Gorzak. He's not an Inhumanoid. He was made by, I think it was Mattel. But he fits in really nicely with the Inhumanoids. He came out around that same time period. Gorzak, something like that. A few Ghostbusters kind of hidden in here. Even a few Ninja Turtles more recent. And he's not a humanoid either. He's battle something. There's him and another guy has like tentacles, but I thought he fit in nicely with the humanoids. Some of the re-releases of Boglins mixed in with Barnyard Commandos, Food Fighters. And we have original Barnyard Commandos, and we have some of the new Premium DNA Barnyard Commandos. We have the 9 to 5 Warriors, which is a new line you can still find and pick out. Big Bad Toy Store has them. So what I'm about to show you now is my main storage closet. I store stuff here. I also have a studio where I do stuff for movie making, where I store props. We do make sets and stuff like that, used for photography. But I store a lot of my stuff down there. I have kind of a display area. I'll do a tour of that one day as well. But a lot of my boxes and some things that I want shown, but I don't have room here, will go down to my studio space. But what I'm going to show you now is my closet. If you watch Pixel Dan, he's recently had some videos where he shows his basement. He calls it his shame, and it's something I can relate to because you have stuff and you kind of accumulate stuff, things you don't want to get rid of and things you need to go through. I think it's common with every collector, but I'm going to show you my closet of shame. It's not too bad, but I'll let you be the judge. So here we go. So I try to keep it organized. I have a poster of Darth Maul. I've had that for years. I think I bought it when I was in college. It's just kind of survived. He's as tall as me. We have a Yoda soap. So if you wash your hands enough, you get a little Yoda figure. Looks kind of gross, but that's soap. New Toxic Crusader line I'm really excited about from Trick or Treat Studios. These are some of the, not custom, but they're figures from indie figures. But they come in cases where you can pop the figure out without ruining the case. So I have the figures on display, and I keep the card backs and stuff safely encased here in the closet on display. The re-release of the Party Wagon, re-release of Ecto 1. This is a piece I really need to get on display because I love it. Toxic Crusaders, the Turf Surfer. I'm gonna get all the names wrong. Now that the cameras are rolling and my mind's everywhere. But storage-wise, I try to keep it. I know where everything is at. We have Star Wars down at the bottom, Ninja Turtle stuff. It's like Super 7, Playmates, everything. And there also He-Man is in that one. Spiral Zone is a line I love, but they are hard to display. They fall down. I need to get better stands, but I've not had them on display for a few years, but I do not want to get, those are like one of my favorite figures, and toy lines. I don't want to get rid of them, but they sit in here for now. Transformers down there at the bottom. Parts bins, like different pieces and stuff. Toxic Crusaders extras. Let's see, give you a bigger pictures, try to see it all in one. But you see the Party Wagon, Super 7 Party Wagon is parked in here for now. He needs to go out, he needs to be displayed because it's a gorgeous piece. Some He-Man Origins parts. Mighty Max line I just recently started collecting in 2024, but I don't have a place to display them, and they're I've not figured out how I want to display them, how to display them. I've been seeing other people's collections and how they do it, So right now they're in storage, but I'm excited about them. I do like that line a lot. Something I never had as a kid. The Mutant Mayhem playset, which is great. This great for photos and stuff. I wouldn't mind picking up another one of these on the cheap and just taking that top off just so it's the city without the bottom. Carrying cases, I have quite a few of these Ninja Turtle ones, Ghostbusters, and I actually do use them. I'll put figures, extra figures and stuff in there. Let's see. Skeleton Warriors. We have Beetlejuice down there. And the Shadow, which is full of almost a complete line. I think it might be a complete line of the Shadow figures. And when I actually won that on Whatnot, as like everything was all included. McFarlane's Batmobile, it's huge. I love it, but where am I gonna put it? This gets a lot of well, not a lot. I see hate for it on some videos, but I don't know, for the price, I think it's pretty cool. I love the Batmobile, but they get the Michael Keaton Batman in there. It's definitely a plus. But yeah, I mean, these bigger vehicles, it's hard to display. Over here we have like different posters and stuff. I've been just recently completed my Toxic Crusaders and Toxic Avenger comics, so I haven't put them back into their proper storage area. Lunch boxes, I like to collect the lunch boxes, and I'll store figures and stuff in there too. Books, a lot of, movie books, concept art books, some Batman vehicles. This is one of the turtle layers. I have a few, definitely two, but this is one I use for photos, so it's in pieces, so I can use it for the different parts. Makes it easier for toy photography. Hideous Hovercraft. It's kind of organized. I know where everything's at in here. We have a Power of the Force AT-AT. Critter has a BB-8 that opens up into a playset of the First Order Starkiller base. I got that on clearance, but it's really cool for display for photos. Lash Ronin case. Dawn, that's a comic book I liked a lot when I was in college. Done by Joseph Michael Lensner. Another one of his characters from the comic series, Death. Also back here, if you see these little bins, most of those are full of Legos, or like the Mega Bloks or Creo. Mainly Lego. I have them all stored back there. I always go through phases where I do like a Lego phase and I start building a lot. Right now I'm out of the Lego phase for the time being. Like back there's a bin. So all that gets pulled out, and I know where everything's at in here. It's just I like to get rid of some stuff that I've not really put on display or looked at, or I just don't have the same interest in. But let it join another collector who will appreciate more. I'll show you the other closet while we're doing it, just to let you see. This is where I keep clothes and stuff at. So there's a lot of clothes in here, but it's recently had some overflow with toys. So some Boba Fett and Mandalorian helmets, concept Boba Fett. Castle Grayskull got moved in here recently. We have some He-Man stuff, some Halloween stuff I need to take down to the studio. Toxic Crusader mask. We have the Aliens popcorn bucket. But in making room for stuff that's kind of become an overflow, some things I think I want to make this top shelf where I can put some of the bigger play sets where I can easily get to it and use for photos and stuff. See a little bit of my t-shirt collection. I used to have a lot more t-shirts. I've narrowed them down. But I had a thing back like maybe 10 years ago where I wore a different t-shirt every day. I must have made it through like an entire year with not wearing the same shirt twice. I don't know if I showed this playset. We have another Ninja Turtle lair. I have several of the newer figures where they usually end up over here. It's like the Mutant Mayhem and some of the newer lines. And there's some mix-in. Like that's the Target Taxi, Turtle Taxi, Toilet Taxi. But it's a really cool playset. It's you can do a lot more with it if you have more space. Like it's got a back that you can do things with. It's pretty cool. I like playsets a lot, and this is actually one that works out well because it works as a display as well as a playset. So you can put all your figures on there and show them off. So yeah. So even in the bathroom, some of my collection has shown up in there. Jumbo Boba Fett, I think by Jax. And the new re-release of the Turtles. So they are in here keeping clean. But yeah, this is my collector's room / office workspace. This table here, it isn't, it's actually up quite a bit, but it's not supposed to be. This is where I will pop this table up and I'll open up figures and I'll shoot toy photography, and sometimes I'll build my Lego and stuff. Just an extra table for extra space. If you recently saw my Batman Forever find, this is set up from that. I'm going to do some toy photos this week. So I have them out. I was comparing the Batmobiles here. That's the Toy Biz Batmobile. I need to get the Kenner Batmobile. So thank you everyone for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Hopefully we have a new Mad Balls video to show you real soon, because I'm hurting for those Mad Balls. I can't wait to check them out and see how bad they really are. So y'all take care. Here in Augusta we have an ice storm coming. So probably the day this releases, it's going to be just starting. I know this comes out on a Tuesday. The Wednesday and Thursday is what they predict snow for us, and Augusta doesn't handle bad weather very well. It's not so much the weather all the time, so it's the reactions. We'll see how they do with the snow. Hopefully it's not too bad and people can get out and enjoy it. I definitely have some toy photography I'll be doing once snow hits the ground, so be on the lookout for that. But thanks again for watching, and stay tuned for the next video, and we'll see you soon.